Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Good? Can I get a yay? Well, I'm really hoping that those of you who were out last night at Yerba Buena or any of the other bars made it back in time, because today is a really long day followed by a really long and packed evening. But we're going to make it fun for you guys. This is my favorite weekend of the year. It's a ton to organize, but it's also so much fun. So really, I really encourage you guys to relax and to take this also as an end of year festive holiday gathering, okay? We're all here as people, or as reindeers, or as little snowflakes, or et cetera. But yeah, really make this weekend as special and as relaxed and show up as yourself. I think that's really how it works best. All right, so we are at Vision Weekend now. It's that time of the year again. Vision Weekend started off before my time at Foresight, long time ago. But I've been, I guess, running it now for 7-8 years, I guess, pretty much. So it's definitely grown over the years. And now it's not only in San Francisco, but it's actually in Europe as well. Was anyone at the Europe event earlier this year? Oh my God, yeah, we have a different, like a little traveling circus. Thanks a lot. Now we're in San Francisco, or the Bay Area, because clearly we are across many venues here. And then we're going to be in Puerto Rico. And so we have Alex over here, who's the main person to talk to. If you're interested in following us along to Puerto Rico as well in February, when it's going to be quite cold here, we really welcome you guys to come to that one too. But let's stick with today first. I want to point out a few people before we get started, in case you need anything to make your experience better. Well, there's me. I'm Allison. I manage Foresight Institute, but we also have Beatrice over here if you want to stand up. She's running our Existential Hope track, so anything that's related to that track, if you're interested in Existential Hope, talk to Beatrice. We have Lou over here, who's running our Pop-Up City Special Projects program across the world. How many pop-up cities did you go to?
Oh my God. 3 this year?
3 this year, hosting a 6-week sprint of them. We have Neve over here, who is our fellow mama, and she's also focused on our endowments for the grants and prizes and fellowship. And then we have Lydia, who probably checked you in, so she's probably running around somewhere. And in the back, we have Bailey, who's not with Foresight, but she's with Shift Alt. So if there's any logistical questions, Shift Alt is our event producer. So thank you so much, Bailey, for all the work that you put into it. We're hoping that things run smoothly. So far, so good. Okay, great. So we've arrived at Vision Weekend. Can I maybe have a show of hands? Who here came from inside of San Francisco? Who is local? Okay, you have no excuse. You're well slept and you're well prepped. Who came from inside of the US, not San Francisco? Okay, and who came from, who flew in internationally? Okay, you guys are our morning crew, and later on we have the San Francisco crew take over, hopefully, in the later hours, and we will put you guys to rest. There are some nap spaces downstairs in some of the hidden corners. I've definitely seen people sleep here, and it's okay. One more question. Who has been to a Vision Weekend before? Okay, good. Who's entirely new? Who's never been to one? Okay, awesome. Wow. Welcome, you guys. It's going to be quite wild and really quite back-to-back. And for those of you, perhaps, who don't know very much about Vision Weekend yet, I want to give you a brief intro to Foresight. We are almost at our 40th anniversary now. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have, in 2 years, we're going to have a big 40-year birthday bash. But for now, Foresight, for those of you who have been with us for a while, and for those of you who are new, we are really a nonprofit based in the Bay Area, but operating quite globally, advancing biotech, neurotech, nanotech, and AI for the benefit of life. And how did we get here? We were founded in 1986 by Eric Drexler on the book Engines of Creation. He wrote this book laying out this fantastical, ambitious future of nanotechnology, AI, longevity, space, etc. Many of the tracks that we now really care about. And that book really inspired a lot of people. So a lot of people garnered around this book. And so together with Christine Peterson, here she's seen with Marvin Minsky, they band together. Christine later went on to coin the term open source software. And together they band together to start Foresight as an organization to actually really think about and act on making the future happen faster, and not leaving it in the hand of the default world to decide when it's going to arrive. So there were a host of different events and different programs that we ran since 1986, including, for example, one of the first prediction markets where people send checks to our offices to vote physically on the predictions that they made, and a lot of other things that we're going to share with all of you and at our 40th anniversary soon. It's quite the wild archive. But now we are this kind of global Schelling point. So fast forward to today, we're really not very much focused on the Bay Area only, but we really have become more of a global organization, and that's thanks to all of you guys. So thank you so much for being part of this journey. And there is Christine, one of the co-founders. Welcome. Awesome. And Brewster, thank you so much for hosting us here. Woo! If you want to learn more about the Internet Archive, Brewster is hosting a tour later. So that's in the break later on. Okay, great. So let's talk a little bit about Foresight's program and mission for those of you who may not be aware of what it is that we're doing. So in a nutshell, I've already shared with you like the different technical tracks that we have an interest in, mostly originating from the book Engines of Creation. But we really focus on advancing technologies towards positive futures. So we have these different technical tracks. AI, we want to really advance towards a super intelligent civilization, so having humans and AIs cooperate better in beneficial and secure ways, to leading to futures of existential hope. We want to avoid futures of AGI ruin. That's a tech tree that leads to a dead end. We really care about longevity biotech. We have Mark Hammerlane in here to radicalize anyone who isn't sufficiently radicalized on this one. We want to avoid biorisk, and we really want radical life extension, again, for futures of existential hope. In the Neurotech track, which is our fastest growing track, that's really been exploding over the last 2 years, we're focused mostly on brain-computer interfaces and whole brain emulations, while trying to avoid suffering risks of creating new minds that could suffer in astronomical terms. For molecular nanotechnology, our founding track, we really care about molecular 3D printing, about thinking about what would happen if we could revolutionize the entire physical production base in which we're operating as a civilization. But we want to avoid risks like small kills or basically atomically precise weapons. Finally, space tech, that's our track of expanding outward, of really figuring out how can we have cheap space travel and cheap space manufacturing while avoiding, in Robin Hansen's term, a grabby alien war. So all of these are the different technologies that we focus on to reach futures of existential hope. Now, we're not just sitting around and drawing these little tech trees out there, but we're really a pretty action-oriented organization. So the way that we try to get there is through a few programs. So this is the engine, the Foresight engine at least, that powers this little universe. And so at Foresight, we kind of like break down our programs in 3 aspects. The first one is funding talents. And so we give a ton of grants, prizes, and fellowships. So you've already heard from a few of our fellows and grantees yesterday. That's one of the engines. We do field building. So sometimes these fields are so new that there literally aren't that there isn't a community yet, right? But there's like a post here and there, and you see some research popping up. That was the case, for example, for the whole brain emulation track that is now growing so rapidly. So you need to do some field building through workshops, through seminars, etc. And that's what we're also doing, including here at Vision Weekend, across different technological tracks. And then finally, we want to map paths to progress. So it's not just about accelerating technology into nowhere land, but we want to accelerate it towards positive futures, right? And so we have world building, reports and roadmaps. There's a lot of them out there. And then finally, tech trees. There's a lot more detailed tech trees on each of these technical fields that you can access through the QR codes around the Internet Archive. So if you want to deep dive into those, be our guest. And if you want to talk about the software, we have Martin over there who's developing the software to build all of these tech trees. And it's been a big lift, so thank you so much, Martin. All right, so that's roughly kind of the Foresight universe. And all of you guys are here because you're working or you're interested in one of these different technological building blocks, or you're part of one of our programs. So maybe let's take these programs as an opportunity to introduce yourselves to each other. So let's maybe start with, do we have any Foresight fellows here? That counts alumni as well. Okay, wonderful. So we have our Foresight fellows here. You've heard from them already yesterday, at least from a few of them. We have about 40 per year, so you only heard from a small subset, but our fellows really push the boundaries of like various different frontier technologies such as brain-computer interfaces, molecular manufacturing, reversible biostasis, healthcare 3.0, secure AI, and many others. And if you're interested in supporting more of these fellows, please do talk to me at any point or talk to Neve, who's right here, because she's currently raising for an endowment, so we can actually provide these fellows with like even as small as a 10K of a grant to get their project started. So they're really doing fantastic work. Please make sure you meet our fellows throughout this weekend. Now, who here is from our AI grantee category? If you want to raise your hands, that would be wonderful. Again, if you want to speak to our AI grantees, that's the program that we've started about a year ago, and we're really trying to support various different fields within AI safety that we consider undervalued or underfunded, including automating AI safety research. Here the premise is that humans probably can't keep up with the pace of AI research that has to happen, and AI safety research, but also securing AI systems. So computer security is a big part of this track, AI cooperation and neurotechnology to level up humans vis-a-vis AGI. And so if you're interested in any of these fields, I encourage you to seek out our grantees. They're doing absolutely fantastic work in that area. And if you're interested in actually like supporting this field more and partnering with us on growing these different grants program, please talk to me or talk to Neve, who's again sitting over here, because there is another endowment for these grants in the mix, because there's so much more demand than we can possibly supply in funding right now. We give about 2 million per year, and there are so many different projects that we cannot fund that are absolutely amazing. So if you're interested in that field, please do talk to us. There's a lot happening, and a lot that we could support much faster. Timelines are short, at least in the Bay Area. I think according to Metaculus, timelines to AGI are at 2027 or 2030, depending on which definition of AGI you're using. So, let's enjoy our final vision weekends here. Okay, last but not least, who's been to a workshop? Foresight workshop. This doesn't have to be this year, but even last year's. Okay, so those of you who've been to our workshop know that those are quite special. We really try to curate them well. I know that you all probably get a ton of invites to many conferences throughout the year, almost too many, arguably. But these workshops, we really try to not focus so much on what's happening right now and the state of the art of a field, but we're trying to curate people who are interested in like looking at the frontier, looking across disciplines, and looking really like figuring out what is holding back progress at the frontier. What are the bottlenecks across different disciplines to enable technological progress? We usually give development grants, so they're really more like a hackathon. And we have a ton of really interesting ones coming up for you next year, which I'll share a little bit at the closing. But for now, that's another kind of like sector in which you might have encountered Foresight. And then this one, last but not least, our seminars. Who here has been to a Foresight seminar, the virtual seminar series? Oh, not even that many. Okay, so this is where the community usually meets on a monthly basis in each technical track. And it's really good if you're not in the Bay Area to get a head start on what's happening in the field. Who are the people that you'd like to meet? If you have a new project that launches, a new company that launches, new research that's published, we usually try to surface that in the seminar. So that's mostly my daily routine. Lydia and I are hosting the seminars. It's really, really fun. It's a really great community, and it's now in its 4th or 5th year. All right, if you're interested in partnering on any of these, please also do talk to us. If you have really amazing research to present, you can talk to Lydia over here, and she's managing the seminars and the workshops, so she will be your point of contact here. Cool, if you want to partner with us, please talk to us. We are a very small organization, but we can do so much because we have such a large community, and that's all of you guys, so I really encourage you to reach out. Okay, let's talk about Vision Weekend. So, Vision Weekend, the annual festival of Foresight Institute. And this year, we really focus on paths to progress. So, I would love for you guys to explore 2 questions. Which paths to progress should we prioritize in this like tech tree, in this meta tech tree? You're going to hear a lot of presentations on that today, on different paths to progress in different technical fields. And tomorrow, it's all about how the hell do we fund these paths? Right? How do we actually advance them forward? So today it's a lot about different frontiers and technical fields, and tomorrow we're really gonna do group work. So tomorrow it's all of you guys talking to each other about how do we advance these paths forward as fast and as safely as possible. Okay, this should be no surprise for you guys. This is where you can find out how we're gonna do this. Okay, in a nutshell, we've had a full first day already. Now, we've arrived at our Path to X festival. You can do 3 things today, right? This is the only thing I would love you to take away for the next few hours. First option, you want to learn about different paths to progress in different fields, then you just stay put in your seat. Just stay seated, and you're going to have back-to-back 7-minute presentations with 3-minute Q&A from fantastic contributors to these fields. We're going to start with longevity bio, molecular nano, we're going to have lunch break, neurotechnology, secure AI, energy, climate, space, existential hope, you name it. We're going to really go through each different technical track. Or you can say, well, you know what? I really want to connect with people and just chit-chat all day. I know you very well. We've learned over the years. Then you can just go downstairs and get to know a few community partners. And so, we are a small org. The future isn't built in one day. It's not built by one organization. So we invited a lot of community partners, like organizations that we really like and where we think they do fantastic work and who we love to collaborate with. And they're downstairs doing office hours. In each different block, it's a different set of people that you can meet. They're going to introduce themselves. Lydia is running that show. And you can just sit down at a table and chat with them about possible collaborations. And then there's the third path that you can take for today, which is running like a headless chicken between the different tracks, running up and down. And that is, I think, probably the path that most of you will take. Some of you are really interested in some talks and some office hours. So we will see people running up and down, and that is very much encouraged. You're very welcome to vote with your feet, okay? All right, well, that's pretty much it for today. At the end of today, we will be departing in either self-organized dinners for the general attendees or the cyberfuture party. For those of you who are joining the cyberfuture party, for our all-access pass holders, sponsors, speakers, fellows, and grantees, I hope you brought your costume. We will check at the door. Also, we do have a few reserved for you in-house. All right, so today will be a ton of fun, and tomorrow I just give a brief glimpse into what we're doing tomorrow, because we can talk about tomorrow, but tomorrow, as I promised, it's all about Funding X. So we'll start with a huge Funding X session at the beginning, where we're going to hear from a lot of our funders in the community, and then it's all you guys talking to each other. So these are moderated breakouts that are going in parallel, where you're going to discuss with speakers how you can use the funding mechanisms that are discussed in the first session to push your favorite technical track forward. All right, and the favorite funding mechanisms that you guys come up with is awarded a 10K prize at the end to actually realize it. There's also a ton of career counseling, a concert, a tea service, technology demos, sponsor highlights, lightning talk, you name it. Tomorrow is going to be a big festival, especially focused on all of you guys connecting with each other. Cool. Well, now we're at the end of the intro. So I want to leave you with just a few goals and a few rules. First goal is at least the lowest hanging fruit. Make a friend, a single friend from a different discipline, please. Second one is learn one new idea that advances your work. That would be nice, that's attainable. And the third one is start a collaboration to advance progress. Oftentimes at Vision Weekend, the most fantastic collaborations are started that we only reap the benefits from years later. So please take this seriously, but also adhere to the 3 rules. The first one is Chatham House rule. So some of the presentations are recorded, not all of them. Apart from the presentations, Chatham House rule. So that means you can talk about the concepts discussed, but do not attribute them to any single person here unless you have their explicit consent, okay? We want people to talk openly with each other because there will be many spicy topics and we want you guys to just be honest. Second, don't stay just in your technical lane. I know it's very tempting, but I'm more of a generalist, so I don't mind asking stupid questions across different tracks. So I encourage you to do the same. When are you going to ask these questions if not here, okay? So don't just stay in your technical lane. And the last one, possibly the most important one, have some fun. It's the end of the year, we're all here, because we really care collectively about positive futures enabled by technology. So let's also make the future fun, okay? All right, well, without further ado, I really want to thank our sponsors so much for enabling so many subsidized tickets to join. You know who you are, and I really just want to thank all of you guys, and I'm so excited to be celebrating with you tonight. So thank you so much for coming. We're now exactly at 10 a.m., which means that anyone who wants to join an office hour would now be going downstairs with Lydia, and anyone who's interested in the longevity biotech track or the nanotech track, they'll be going back to back here. You stay put in your seat. So office hours downstairs, follow Lydia, and we're gonna start the biotech track here in 1 minute after I give you a second to leave the room. All right, thank you. Have some fun, you guys.